who asked me to please record for them. So let me go ahead and do that. And now let me share. And all right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Here is our agenda. This is what we plan to cover tonight. We need to finalize our Rowdy Rising membership, which I'm looking at the names on here, and they are, from what I can tell, I think everybody's in. They're already in, which is fantastic. We need to finalize our state convention. I have to register tonight. So we're going to finalize that, participants, and our travel situation. We are going to finalize any state convention activities. Some of you have reached out and said, I'm kind of interested in this competition. I'm kind of interested in this one. So we're going to look at them. I'm going to talk to you about them. I think you all would be really great contenders. So I don't want you to be afraid of that. It's a neat thing to participate in. And then we're going to get our plan for Unlock Education, which is our conference that McNeese hosts. It's a regional conference that happens before the state conference. So we're going to go ahead and jump into how to join, just in case you haven't joined. As I mentioned, I think everyone on this call has, which is wonderful. So if you've already used this link, then you don't need to do it again. I've got you and we're set. If you have joined by February 3rd, the funding for your fee is going to be covered. So it will be covered by an endowed professorship for Rowdy Rising. So that's awesome. Really great. If you are registered by the 3rd, then you're set. That doesn't mean that students so like if a friend asks you, oh, is it too late to join? It is not too late to join. But at that point, they would need to cover their own costs. So that's kind of how we're going to make sure that we maximize our funding and you guys get that early bird perk. Okay. State convention is March 11th, which is a Friday. It's in Lafayette, and it is hosted by the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. I'm excited that so many of you were interested in attending because next year we are slated to host the state convention. And we really need to kind of go and scout out and see how they do things and what it looks like, and bring it back here. And as Dr. OJ says, put our awesomeness on it. So I'm really excited that so many of you were interested. We would need to leave approximately 6, maybe 6:15-ish, just to be safe with traffic, because that's going to be a heavy congested traffic time. And we would be arriving back at approximately 6 p.m. The registration fee of $15 would be covered by Rowdy Rising. So you would be fine for that. Lunch is provided as part of the registration fee. And I think you get like a t-shirt and of course, all your sessions and speakers and things. The travel expenses would be your cost. I know last time when we were on the call, several of you spoke up and said, I can drive, I can drive, I can drive. That would be our best way to do it, because then we could all split the gas money. We could travel together, and that would really be the best way to do it. I know last time 3 of you quickly said, I can drive, I can drive, I can drive. So that would definitely be something that we want to circle back around when we get to March, is making sure that we have that out. I know based on what we said last time, I know Maria and Mia, you guys both said that you could. I can also drive. So I know that just between the 3 of us, there was one other person too who offered to drive. I know that's okay. Thank you so much. It doesn't have, I don't know who you are. It just says Galaxy Note.
Oh, sorry, it's Lacey.
Lacey, thank you, Lacey. Thank you so much. I remember there was one other person. I think between all of us, we would be fine. We would have plenty of coverage for carpooling. So that'd be great. These are the names that I have so far who said that they are interested in attending state convention. So if you look on the left-hand side, that's the list of names that I had from our registration. If you look on the right, it's kind of giving you some directions about what to do. So if your name is listed and you still want to go, you don't need to do anything. If your name is listed and you decided that you do not want to go, please email me. Like, please email me and let me know I can't go. I wanted to, but I can't go. And I'm just going to kind of camp out here for a minute in case you need to pull your email up. And then if your name is not on the list at the left and you do want to go, please email me and let me know. And the reason I'm asking for you to specifically email me is that way I don't forget. I get your name correct. I get the spelling of your name correct. I get your contact information correct. So if there's any change in the list on the left, just let me know by email. Does anybody have any questions so far about just basic? I'm about to jump into a little bit more state convention stuff, but I want to stop here for a minute. Okay. Okay. All right. Let me go to next slide. Now, this one is about competitions. So I'm actually going to go over, and even if you are not, if you're on the call and you're not attending state convention, I want you, the reason why this is meaningful for you is all five, look at that mistake I made. All five of these competitions, so Educators Rising Moment, Creative Lecture, Public Speaking, Impromptu Speaking, and what's the next one? There is a fifth one. What did I do with it? Oh no, the fifth one is not for college students. That's why it's not here. The fifth one is actually job interview, but that's only for high school students. It's not for college students. Although I think it would be really good for college students, but whatever. So these competitions will be part of our conference that we host at Unlock Education in February. And the reason why this matters is I am actually in charge of organizing all of these competitions, and I could really use two of you to help me. I'm going to get to, the reason I'm saying this is I am going to get to Unlock Education at the very end, but it's something I want you to put in your think tank. Essentially, what I'm going to need help with is people helping me keep the students on track going into the judging part of it. So that's why it's important for people who are not on. It would give you a great experience to see what these competitions are like. So even if you don't attend state competition this year, state convention this year, maybe next year, you could be thinking, hey, that was kind of cool. I might want to prepare for that competition. So let me go ahead and go to the website. I have these pulled up for you so that you can see. Some of you already indicated that you were, why is it not? There we go. Some of you already indicated that you were interested in the competitions. So I think one of you interested, Maria or Mia, one of you were you interested in the creative lecture?
I was kind of interested in that one. It seemed really cool, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like a lot of time. So I'm kind of like, I think it would be really cool, but I would definitely have to put in some prep work for it, which isn't a bad thing.
I will help you because I really think that you could do a great job with this. Do you think the time, meaning like how much time you have to, I think it's 7 to 10 minutes, isn't that right?
Yes, ma'am. I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about, I can talk, so I'm not worried about the actual time. I'm worried about the prep time more. But if you don't mind like kind of helping me, I think it would just like take a minute to like kind of brainstorm, but
I will help you. If it's something you want to do, I will help you. I'm actually really excited about this topic. And one of the reasons I am kind of excited about one of our team members doing this is because this is very similar to the topic that you guys proposed for our April collegiate session. What in the world did I do? There we go. Do you see how similar it is?
Yes, ma'am, it's very similar.
I feel like if we did the prep work right now up front, then when we got to that collegiate session, we would have had a lot of the nuts and bolts kind of worked out that we could just add to. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you're exactly right. That would
Yeah.
help us a lot with like kind of prep work ahead of time.
I think so. And I think that it would actually kind of help us get our ducks in a row for it. So you would basically be our guinea pig, Maria. Thank you very much. So
Yay.
I know, right? So it says the pandemic has had a great impact on students' social and emotional health, which is affecting their ability to learn. As a result of school closures and event cancellation, students are showing signs of increased depression, anxiety, fear, abuse, and bullying. In addition to the stress caused by school closings, many students have also had to cope with the sickness or loss of one or more close family members or friends. In a 2020 survey conducted by Active Minds, almost 75% of respondents reported their mental health has worsened somewhat, or worsened significantly since the beginning of the pandemic. What can and should schools do to help students struggling with these issues? And so it's a 7 to 10 minute, basically like a TED talk. So we put together some type of slide deck with sources and information, and essentially you basically develop a plan. It's almost as if you're thinking of it like as a policy maker. What could we do to address this need? And I think it's a wonderful topic, and I really think it's very relevant. We know that. I think you do a great job. So I would be happy to help you with that for sure.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. And then rising moment, and that just because Maria is participating, let me throw that out there. It doesn't mean that if somebody else is kind of interested in doing this, it's totally fine. It's not like we have to have only one per school. And it's actually kind of good to do that, because you can kind of cheer each other on. It's fun, you're competing, but we're both pokes. So we're all pokes. So everybody wins, so I'm going to say these. And if any of you, you're like, oh, I'm kind of interested in that, or I want to do that, email me, let me know, or come off mute and say, hey, that's something I'd like to do as well. I want to talk about one of the others. Another one that I know that Mia was interested in is called the Rising Moment speech. It is a shorter speech. It's not as long as the 7 to 10 minute. I think it's 3 to 5. Yes, it's 3 to 5. And this one is simply, the prompt for it is simply that students share basically what inspired them to become a teacher. What has inspired them to pursue education? I'm trying to find the prompt here and I can't find it. Let's see if I can find it exactly. Give me a minute. Well, a lot of here we go. So the purpose of the Educators Rising Moment competition is to provide students at the Educators Rising National Conference opportunities to articulate why they aim to pursue a career in education. So it's essentially what inspired you to become a teacher. It could have been a circumstance or a person or a combination of events. It's a 3 to 5 minute prepared speech. You can use note cards. And again, if somebody is interested in this one, I am happy to help you with this one as well. Mia, I think this was the one you were kind of interested in, right?
Yes, ma'am. I was looking at that one or impromptu.
Okay.
But I think I might be leaning more towards this one now.
Okay. All right. And if anybody else, you think like, you know what, I can speak to that. I know why I'm pursuing a career in education. You can either come off mute and let me know that that's something that you're interested in doing, or you can email me. I do have to know tonight though. So even once we get off of this, if you want to email me and let me know, or stay on, like once the meeting's over, we can talk it out. If that's something you're interested in, do, because when I do the registration, I also have to put which competition you're interested in. So that is something as well. The other two competitions, which I want to mention, are public speaking and impromptu speaking. Impromptu, we do not know what the prompt is for, obviously, because it's impromptu, but you do have time to prepare. And that one is also a 3 to 5 minute speech. I think so, Maria. Is that right? 3 to 5. Those are both 3 to 5. Yeah. And it's going to be an education topic. It's typically something kind of current, hot button, that kind of thing. One of the things, like a couple of years ago, one of the things they wanted to know was the use of cell phones in school. And we wouldn't think that that would be such a hot button topic, but it was very interesting what students were able to come up with, where basically you had to say, I don't remember the exact formulation of it, but you basically had to take a position on the use of student cell phones in schools. And so it's always a hot button topic, but it's something current in education, but something that's approachable, that you can speak to. Like, it's not some crazy thing that you're not going to have experience or know anything about. But the other one is public speaking. So let me scroll down and tell you what the topic is for that one, just in case any of you want to do that one. Public speaking is also 3 to 5 minutes. And the topic for this one is, I'm getting there, school closures and the shift to virtual learning during the 2021 school year greatly impacted student learning and caused many students to lose valuable learning time. According to McKinsey and Company, the average loss, our middle school epidemiological, that was weird, scenario is 7 months. So basically what they're saying is students lost about 7 months of schooling, instruction, learning. But Black students may fall behind by 10.3 months, Hispanic by 9.2, and low income by more than a year. Students often fall behind because they lack technology, home environment, and supports needed to help them progress in a virtual learning setting. If this learning loss is left unaddressed, these students are also more likely to drop out, resulting in a lifetime of lower income. What strategies can school systems put in place to combat the learning loss in these at-risk students? And that's what you do. 3 to 5 minutes, you come up with basically like a plan. It's kind of like a pitch that you're giving them. So if anybody is interested in that one, again, you can stay on and let me know, or email and let me know. So those are some opportunities for us to get involved at state convention for those of you who are going to state convention. All right, the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about, first, let me stop. Any questions there? And again, feel free to stay on when the meeting's over.
Do we need to register ourselves for this conference?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to register us all at once because they're going to invoice me so I can pay for it all at one time. That's why I got your names and everything on the form though. And that's why I'm specifically having people email me if they change their minds, so that I'll have the spelling right and the email and all of that, so that I can register you tonight.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then anything else? Anybody else? Okay. The other thing are presentations. So I'm going to go ahead and view the website. We have already pitched a proposal to them. So when the leadership staff met earlier, we thought that it would be a good idea to pitch a proposal about service learning. So our proposal is called Partnerships and Pathways for Service Learning. And it's basically about how universities can work with their local educators, rising schools, those high schools, to have community service efforts. And we're going to highlight our Giving with Heart drive that we did in conjunction with those local high schools, that we had a much bigger impact than if we would have tried to do it by ourselves. And it helped all of us to kind of, and it's going to be cool. Like when you guys see each other at the conference, when you host the conference on February 18th, you're going to get to actually see some of those high school students who participated in our drive, which is kind of neat. So that's what our proposal is. And it's going to be about the benefits of service learning and why service learning should be an important part of teacher preparation, so that we can really get to know our schools and our communities, and we can get to know the needs of our schools and communities. And so that's kind of, if they accept it, then we put together like a slide deck, and we'll work on that as well. So I am going to go to the website there very quickly, just so you can see. But if you are interested in doing a different presentation and you want to do a proposal, it wasn't hard. Like the proposal paperwork was pretty easy for it. This doesn't mean that you will be presenting. It's kind of like you're pitching, and they will let us know by February 11th if we got picked. And a lot of times, if you don't get picked, it doesn't mean in any way, shape, form, or fashion that your idea wasn't good. But sometimes it's just so they have so many proposals that they're just trying to balance out topics. So I always tell people, pitch it, go for it, and it might work, it might not. And then, so if anybody is interested in that, the other thing that I thought some of you may be interested in for state presentation, they're doing something really neat that I really kind of like. And it's going to be a gallery walk. I don't see it here. It's not showing it here, but it's a gallery. Oh, here it is. I know where it is. Let me pull it up. That's where I saw it. This is such tiny writing. You can't see this, and I can't. Let me figure out a way to make it bigger for you. There we go. Okay, it might help a little bit. So they're doing like a gallery walk. Basically, I'm thinking it's like they're calling it poster presentations, but it's essentially like a tri-board. So think almost like science fair, social studies fair kind of thing. You know what I'm talking about? And basically it's a way it's called the Expo Gallery Walk. And it's a way attendees are going to walk around and they're going to visit the poster, and people should be prepared to discuss whatever topic it is that they want to share with everybody, like about a little 5-minute, almost like an elevator speech, have prepared for people, like a little pitch for people. It can be anything. So some of the things they were considering were basically you could talk about what are some fundamentals to help students be successful in college? How could students succeed in their first year of college? What are some current educational issues and some innovative solutions? A lot of them were talking about, you could even highlight a specific career in education. So for example, if you are interested in, some people are interested in becoming counselors. Well, what do counselors do now? What does it take to become a counselor? Some people were interested in literacy specialists or becoming a curriculum coach, or like a really special field. You could make a whole poster about that one field. So it's just an idea. I'm just making you aware and throwing it out there in case it's something that you're interested in. We don't have a lot of time, and I do regret that. I am sorry. I would have liked to have given you more time. I didn't actually know about the poster thing until recently. But something to think about. And if we don't do it this time, we can consider how we could integrate it in our state when we do state, and then if we want to do it next year. So it's not a big deal. All right, so I'm going to stop for a minute. Does anybody have questions about state conference? I'm sorry. All right, and you can always stay on with me after if you want to talk something over or ask questions. Our last thing, and really the most important, is unlock education. So Unlock Education is February 18th, which is a Friday. It's from 8 to 1. Staff will start arriving at as early as 7 o'clock. So for those of you who are like, oh, I'll work later in the day or whatever, staff will start arriving at 7 o'clock on that day. I know that cleanup is going to go until 2 or 3 for sure. Well, 3 probably, maybe later. January 17th is a Thursday. And on that Thursday, we will be setting up. So our hub for this conference, the main area that we're going to be using is BBC. So that's where most of our education classes are held right now anyway. We will also be using some of our auditoriums near the Fine Arts building. And so that's mainly what we're going to be using those days. We will need help on the 17th throughout the day to set up. There's a balloon arch, there's a photo drop background to put up and things like that. We just kind of need some help getting materials, signage and things like that put up, posted. Fortunately, admissions is actually making swag bags for us. They're so cute. They're little backpacks, little Rowdy, little McNeese backpacks, and they've got like a bunch of McNeese goodies in them. But we also have t-shirts. The t-shirts need to be sorted by size. And so there will be a lot of like hands-on stuff for you to get involved in the day before, the 17th. Places that we are going to need help specifically are set up on Thursday, greeting of students and registration. So students are going to start arriving at 8 o'clock. We're going to need some really friendly college age faces because, you know, they love you guys. They're, you know, that's cool to greet students as they arrive and to just help them with the registration process, you know, that sort of thing. I will need some assistance with competitions. We already have 2 of our Rowdy Rising members who have volunteered to do a session. So Mia and Maria are actually going to be doing an escape room. They're going to be working with Dr. Simpson, who is basically teaching them how to do an escape room. I know that they will also need some help as well, though, to kind of run that escape room because you have to set, you have to set them up, set them back up and take them down. And then we will need some help with cleanup on Friday. What I'm going to do right now is this was a lot of information at one time. And so what I want to do is I want to send out a form very similar to what a Microsoft form with some sign up times for you, because I know nobody's going to be able to just camp out for 2 days up there. I understand that, but you might have a couple of pockets of time on Thursday and a couple on Friday. And so maybe you could give 2 hours here and 2 hours here or something like that. And we are really, really, really needing your help. The good news is this is the largest competition the largest conference we've ever hosted. There are over 135 students currently registered. It is more than double what our last in-person conference was. So that is great news. It means that our programs are growing, our efforts are working, that there is a true wake-up call happening for how important education is, and that it is a noble place to serve. But that's 135 plus high school students that are going to be on our campus. It is a great opportunity for us to shine. So if those of you who can take off work, of course, I don't want you to skip classes. And I can't give you an excuse to skip classes. So don't even ask about that. But those of you who could maybe rearrange your work schedule that weekend or you know, take some time off, we could really, really use your help. So that's our meeting for tonight. And like I said, I'm going to send out a link because I want you to have time to process your schedule for the 17th and the 18th. I want you to be able to look at your other commitments and kind of work things around and look at some of the work options available. And I want you to have time to process that before you make a commitment. Because when you make a commitment, Dr. Williams and I are really depending on you, and Dr. Simpson, Dr. Williams and I, we're really depending on you. We know things come up, we understand, but we're going to automatically like count on you, you know, for that. So I don't want you to just casually say, oh yeah, I'll help, and then forget, oh, I'm not even going to be in town that weekend or something like that. So I want you to have time to process it.
It's been one.
Yes, I'm going to stop sharing.
I was talking to our student body president, Miss Sarah Stafford, and she's really trying to hone in on education right now as a profession. And I was wondering if it was possible to open up that volunteer to the SGA senators, because I can work with our speaker, and we have a point system for our senators to where they would essentially get points for volunteering.
Yes, Mia. Yes. And I thank you so much for thinking about other ways that we can get our student body involved. This could potentially be a very large recruitment for our school, which I think you guys know and you understand. After going through 2 hurricanes, our enrollment it's lower. And that's normal. We expected that. That is normal to happen after a hurricane. But we really need to show that we are up. We are in business. We're doing things. And we have students coming from all over Louisiana, like all over. So I don't even need to ask Dr. Williams about that, because it was something we were already talking about the other day, is how we could get other students involved in helping, you know, facilitate this. This is truly a situation where we could definitely use the help, and they are already leaders on campus. These are already recognized leaders on campus. So it would be great for students to make connections, you know, with people that they might see in even in other areas of campus. So yes. And what I'll do is when I make the form, I'll send it to where it would be something that you could share to that group, and they could get some points. Yes.
Miss Benoit,
Yes.
does your group for Rowdy Rising have their own t-shirts or not yet?
That's funny. Right before you came on, that was what we were talking. We do not have a t-shirt.
Okay, so
we are,
whoever is in Rowdy Rising that is working, I'd like to give them a collared shirt for BCOE,
oh,
like our
wow.
polo shirts.
Look,
I'm not
everybody's
volunteering for. I can't look because I'm not on my computer. I'm on my phone. I suck on my phone. Yeah.
Well,
So if they're in Rowdy Rising, we'll give them a BCOE collared shirt to wear. And then for the people that Marie was talking about, they'll just need to wear a McNeese shirt, but we'll give a collared shirt to our own students that want to participate. So when they sign up, can you get a shirt size for our Rowdy Rising, not those other people as well, please and thank you.
that's right. Yes, ma'am. I sure will. Thank you. That's very, very kind and generous.
I will get the SGA senators to wear our SGA shirts if they can make it.
That's great. Thank you, Mia.
That's perfect. Perfect.
Perfecto. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Questions, comments. Do y'all know how much I love you?
I have a question.
Yes, Deacon.
Okay, so you said that we needed to give you info about if we were interested in national conference today.
Yes. Yes. I'm so glad
So-
you reminded me of that.
So I had put maybe. So
Uh-huh.
right now I just wanted to let you know that I'll go.
Yay. I'm so excited.
Yes, ma'am.
Mia also is interested in going to national. And there were a couple of other people who were checking their schedules. Anybody else interested in national?
When is it?
It is
That's supposed to
June.
be the-
June. Let me look. I'm going to share. Let me.
24th for the 27th.
Yeah. Let me pull it up real quick. June.
Very glad you said yes.
Who said yes?
Deacon?
Deacon? Yes. Okay. It is June 24th through the 27th. It's in Washington, DC. And I'm thinking, like, based on preliminary estimations of costs, the cost would probably be 1,000 to 1,200 per student. I think we could probably do maybe one really great fundraiser between now and then. Fundraisers are kind of tough to do, but I think if we did really one great fundraiser, we could raise some money. The brunt of the cost would be on you, however. However, we do have some funding to pay the registration fee, which would cut off about, I think if we did the early bird special, it would cut off about $300. So that would bring the cost down to more like 700 to 800-ish per person for your flight and your lodging, your flight and your lodging.
So Miss Benoit, can we get an itemized to the best of your ability cost for that? Because before we ask them to pay, I'd like to know, one, how much it is. And two, I like to spend other people's money. So I want to see if we can't find maybe a sponsor for the people that are able to go. I'm thinking like through foundations or something. Maybe we can find someone that would like to sponsor year over year instead of always trying to find money. And also, I'm sure Marie knows because she's on Senate, but like Greek Week and Spring Fling, whatever they call it, there's always opportunities where a whole bunch of students are on campus. So selling a candy bar, I'm making stuff up, but selling a candy bar, gram things for Valentine's Day, those are quick hits that we can get from students.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Dr. O'Shea. Yes,
I'm always right.
I know. I actually, the hotel is a fixed rate because it's a conference hotel. The registration's a fixed rate. The only thing that was a little bit in flux was the flight. Right now, the flights were really high, but they're going to go, like, I know the way flights do, they're going to go down.
We also need food and baggage for travel. Yeah, so there's probably a couple of other things in there. But yeah, if I could just get a relative amount, that would be awesome.
Okay, will do. Absolutely, will do.
If we can do it early enough, we can ask SGA to, like, we can make a piece of, like, I forgot what they're called, but we can ask for maybe, like, for them to fund using the organizational fund, maybe pay for the hotel or like pay for the flights. There's a certain percentage that they can pay for.
You're so smart. You're so smart. And like Dr. O'Shea says, I love to use other money. Yeah, so we've got ways. I basically, last time I was just kind of feeling it out. Was it something anybody was even interested in doing? So to know that 2 of you are interested and a couple others said, I am interested, we'll see. That's great. I would love to be able to go to national. I know some of you have other commitments, like with camps and things like that. So it's kind of the timing just doesn't work out for you, but that's definitely something that we can continue to talk about. As Dr. O'Shea said, I'll come back with an itemized plan, and maybe Dr. O'Shea and Mia, with their experience and connections, can help us come up with an even better plan for funding. So that's exciting. Lots of good stuff. Yeah. Am I missing anything else? So does anybody want to take on the Rowdy Rising t-shirt design? Anybody as a little project?
Can I request that they're not white?
I know. Yes, you can definitely request no white. I think everybody feels that way. Well, if you change your mind and you're interested in the t-shirt design, just let me know. Because that's definitely something I would love somebody to kind of take on. It's not my forte. I am not great at graphic design and coming up with things like that. I stink at it, actually. So if it's something that you like to do, you enjoy doing art, graphic design, something like that, just let me know, and that would be something great to take on. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording now because I think we've got everything that anybody would need.